Swamp Revival, and it is a brand new year. Today is January 1st.
Yeah, 2025.
And we wanted to start out the new year with our Swamp Revival podcast.
Yep.
And I'm Billy Keith, and this is my daughter, Emma Grace King.
Howdy.
And she is co-hosting this with me, and we hope that this is going to be a pretty cool deal. We're going to try to do it regularly. We have been fighting with the devil this morning.
Well, actually, for about
several months.
For
about several months with this deal. We're trying to use all the high-tech stuff that you do podcasts with, and we got everything set up, and now we're just using a phone.
Good old smartphone.
Good old smartphone, because it was terrible. But we've been busy. We've had a good year.
Yeah.
You've had a good year.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your year.
What about your year? Have you had a good year?
I've had a great year, but I was just watched your reel, or not reel, what was that thing?
It was a reel.
Your video you posted last night, and it was just pretty cool to see the progression throughout the year.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your year.
Well, we did a lot of airboat riding.
A lot of airboat riding.
A lot of hunting. A lot of just hunting, not killing, but
yeah, you did some killing.
A little bit.
You've done better than I have.
Yeah. So we'll just start out for open weekend of hunt season. The weekend before open weekend of bow season, I was practicing shooting my crossbow, and I was winching my crossbow up, and I thought it locked, and it did not lock, and it released onto my thumb.
Yep.
And
it back spun very fast.
Yeah, we could put some pictures in there to show what it looked like.
Yeah, I'm gonna add pictures as we go along.
Yeah. My thumb turned black and blue. It was pointing completely down. I couldn't move it. My husband took me to the emergency room. We got X-rays. It was just some soft tissue damage. Yeah. But I started out hunting season with a brace on my hand. But the next weekend I sat Saturday morning, Saturday evening, and then Sunday evening I sat, and it was getting close to shooting light. It was almost too dark to shoot, and
better be careful how you word your words.
It wasn't dark. I could still see. But I was like, I'm ready to get down, and I was scrolling on my phone, and something just told me to look up, and I looked up, and there's this it looked like a spike, and then another taller buck walking out behind him. And where he was walking from, he was facing me. And where my stand is close to a road. And there's golf carts driving by. And I couldn't tell like how many points was on the buck. I could just tell he was tall. And he looks at the road to see the golf carts. And when he looked, a tree was covering his head. And all I could see was his body. And he wasn't moving. And I just decided to take a shot and shot him in the chest. And it actually went through his right shoulder and went out his back end. And
right out his back end.
Yeah.
Gave him an extra hole back there.
Yeah. And he took off running. And where my stand is, it's in like a little slough, and you could hear the water splashing and stuff.
For those of you who don't know what a slough is, it's a swamp.
Yeah. And you could hear the water splashing. I was just ready to get in there and go find him. And I called my husband. He was like, don't go in there by yourself. Wait till your dad gets home. So I called him dad. I was like, I think I just got one. I could hear him splashing in there. And I went to my house and put my waders on because I wasn't fixing to walk through there in knee-deep water.
I didn't have none.
Without my waders. And we walked around in the opposite direction for a little ways. And then we decided to turn and go the other way. And sure enough, he was laying there looking at us. So
he was about that deep of water. He was sitting there cow fashion with his head up. And
he took care of him.
I took care of, dispatched him, and we drug him out. But that was after we fought 2 boar hogs and wrestled 2 alligators and 13 cottonmouths.
Yeah.
No, I did see a couple cottonmouths.
Well, I'm glad I didn't see them.
They don't bother you. They think your legs are tree stumps.
I hope so.
They're just going about their business.
But he was a 7-point.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I could hang a ring on one of the points to make him 7 point.
He's a nice deer. I'll put a picture of it.
He was a nice deer for down here.
Yeah.
We don't get many that are that big down here.
Then, after that, hurricanes hit.
Yeah.
And we spent What, a month?
Probably.
A month. Just doing
cleanup.
But we got a disaster relief team at the church, and we hauled a lot of supplies all over Florida, up and down the coast to the affected areas, and it was good. We got to get out and minister to a lot of people that were in need, so it was pretty cool. But I noticed on your video, we're talking about hunting, but I noticed on your video that you made some decisions early on in the year.
Mm-hmm.
You and your husband Ben.
We did.
Won't you tell them about the decision you made? Because I like how you worded it when you put it in your caption up there.
Well, we got married in March of 23, and we go to church every Sunday, but we were not living like we should for Christ, and we just were tired of it, tired of living the same old lifestyle, and we just want to make our name known for being followers of Christ and being disciples for Christ. And it actually all started, I started reading a book called The Gospeller by Willie Robertson. And it is. And I don't read books, but I finished this book really fast. And we both I was in the gym one morning working out, and I was listening to worship music. And that's how it kind of started too. I just slowly started changing to what I was listening to and putting in my head. I started listening to the Maggie Williams podcast, and she's a big duck hunter and turkey hunter. But she's also a Christian, and that's where I was like, I just want to be like her. She's cool. She was actually Miss Arkansas, I think 2020. But she's just a cool person. And I was like, I just want to be like her and to be able to live this lifestyle, but also share Jesus with others. Yeah. And then I started listening to praise and worship music, and I was in the gym, and I was like, you know what? I want to rededicate my life. And my husband, he was saved when he was younger, but he never followed through with believer's baptism. And I texted him, I was like, you want to get baptized? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. So we planned to do it. We did it Easter Sunday. And
right down there.
Yeah, right down there at the creek. River. And it's hard to live for Christ. It really is. Sorry if you hear that. Mom's in the kitchen.
Oh, Mom's in there. Being Betty Crocker.
But it's a struggle every day. It really is. And then you have people who just tear you down and make you feel like you're not worth it. But you just have to keep in the Word. And when you really dig deep and get in the Word, you see your life in a whole different light. And here lately, I have been slacking off, and I can tell there's a difference in the way my attitude and the way I'm acting. But
yeah, you should have seen her a few minutes ago with this podcast stuff trying to get up there.
But
she's ready to throat punch somebody.
I'm not making any like New Year resolutions, but I about said revolutions.
Could be a revolution this year.
But my goal, I want to read through the whole Bible this year and really get in it.
Yeah, I've had that same thought.
Because we know we grew up in Christian school and we know certain scriptures, but it's like the scriptures everybody knows. I want to get in the deep of it.
Well, and also I was thinking, as you was talking about, just because I'm a preacher's kid, and she's, of course, a preacher's kid because I'm a preacher. And just because you're a preacher's kid, and just because you grew up that way, does not mean that you won't have a certain time in your life where God really gets a hold of you. He did me. I grew up in the church from probably the day I was born, I'm pretty sure. Got saved at a young age, but I really didn't come to the realization of who I really was, a wretched person.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's the danger of growing up in it, is you don't realize the need for Christ. Because you're
always around it.
You're always around it, and you're always around people. But I got to that realization, same thing you did, when I was 36. And I totally surrendered 100% to God. And I probably didn't need to, but I got rebaptized. I want to make a statement, a revolution in my life. And, did that. And I didn't know what God had planned for me. I was open to whatever. And I never want to be a preacher or have a church, but that's what I've done. That's what he did in my life. So, and that's how she grew up, you know. And I'm just glad you came to that realization on your own, you know. It wasn't no brainwashing. It wasn't nothing like that. It was, you know, God speaking to your heart. That's what's cool.
So seeing how, like you said, wretched of a person you are.
Yeah. When you come to that realization, it will, when you realize you didn't have any problems or you didn't think you had any problems before, then you come to that spot in your life. It is a life change. And you do things totally different.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I like that's what Jesus does in your life, but that's kind of a little bit of the story. We're going to be talking a lot about that through the podcast, and we're going to be sharing hunting stories. We got quite a few. You might share.
We went to Mississippi.
Yeah, I'll let you share that one too. Yes, they went to Mississippi, but we're going to save some of them so we don't run out of stuff to talk about. And we got a special guest. He'll probably pop in here with us every now and then. I just saw him peek around the corner. He's wanting to be in here real bad, but he's got him a hunting story, and we'll let him tell it. And so tell us about Mississippi. Y'all left me here by myself.
Yeah. So our friends have property in Mississippi, and we went last year, and we didn't do too good. I mean, I killed a coyote. But this year we were sitting on a different piece of property, and we sat.
That's so funny to me.
We sat. I think it was Thursday evening, and then Friday evening, Saturday morning rolls around, and we're leaving Sunday, and we get to this day about 5:30, and I'm sitting there, and sitting there, and it gets about 9:30, and I start dozing off, and I'm just ready to go, and I doze off, and all of a sudden I you know how you nod your head, and I see dust flying up everywhere. I didn't know what it was. Then I get a text in our group chat from our friend, because it came through his camera. He said, "Did you not see that buck?" And I said,
I mean, I got a picture sent to me from Ben, her husband, and he sent me this picture of this gigantic buck, and guess what she's doing?
I was sleeping.
She's snoozing.
I was. But
snooze, you lose.
You do. But I also got to sit there and enjoy all God's creation. I had some rabbits run by me, and I got to watch
rabbits.
A mess full of red birds fly around. It was just enjoyable just to get out there and sit, even if you didn't kill anything.
I mean, I'm not going to tell your mama's story about our trip to Georgia, but I realized something in that trip, because I had, y'all hear that?
Just ignore it.
She don't ever cook. She in there ripping up with that blender. I got to come to that realization because I had Will, my son, with me. He's 10 years old, and I didn't even carry a rifle on our trip. I just set him up when we were in a blind, wood box blinds, and
I was in a ground blind.
I set his he's got one of the death grip tripods. And I set up and get his rifle ready, and he was gonna shoot whatever. I was just there, and I was like, he was moving, making noise, letting out foul smells. And I'm like, you got to stop all that. I was getting frustrated, you know, and just because I want him to have that opportunity, and he don't understand it, you know. And we put a lot of time and effort into it, and God just spoke to my heart about during that time is just chill out a little bit, you know, just enjoy. You're missing all the what I've done. You're missing your son and being with your son because you're so worried about all this other stuff, and don't miss out on what I'm doing around you, you know. And sometimes we get busy and we get caught up in things and we lose focus about what's really important. Yep. So, I mean, God's creation is cool.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And I love getting out there. And this year, a lot of stuff's changed in my way of thinking. I want to be in it more. You know, hunting my whole life, but I really want to get out there and just enjoy it.
I think we've always hunted because we just want to kill something. It's all about getting the biggest buck or just filling the freezer. Well, I'd rather. I mean, we do want to do that, but at the same time, it's also nice to just get out there and sit and enjoy what God has created.
I don't know if you can see them little scraggly things on that pole right there, but that's all I've ever killed right there. I mean, I want something big to handle off. This one up here, somebody was just giving it away, and I took it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that deer up there. It might be a cheaper way to hunt, just buy mounts that people don't, they were getting rid of.
That's a good idea.
It's cheaper than going off somewhere. But then you'd have to lie and say you killed it. You don't want to do that.
Make up a whole story.
Yeah, make up a whole story. But you got a scripture you want to share? Because I got one that I'm gonna try this new year. I really want to focus on. So.
Oh, it was the Acts one. Acts 10:13. It says that a voice said to him, "Get up, Peter, kill and eat them." And I just think it's cool. I have a hat that I got from Duck Commander, and it says, "Arise, kill, eat," and that's what we're called to do. Like we're called, as it says in the Bible, to. That's how we're supposed to get our food. We're supposed to.
Yep.
I don't know. I just like that scripture. It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool scripture. I like it. This is one I was looking at, or I came across. I was just praying about just a theme for my life this year. And it was in Psalms 105 I come across, and there was 7 things in here I'm just going to try to do this year every day. And you were talking about reading through the whole Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never actually read through the whole Bible in its entirety. The worst thing you can do is start in Genesis, I think.
Yeah.
Genesis, Exodus is awesome. And then you get to Leviticus. And from there to Numbers and Deuteronomy, it just like drops off, So I'm going to try it a little different way. I think I'm going to go to the New Testament. I'm going to try to read through the whole New Testament, and then I'm going to back up because Jesus is throughout all of it.
Mm-hmm.
The Old Testament's leading up to his arrival. But anyway, other than that, I was just looking at the scripture, Psalms 105. It says, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, call upon his name." And there's 7 things in here. That's number 1 is call upon his name. I find a lot of times I don't do that. Number 2, it says in that verse 1, it says, "Make known his deeds among the peoples." So number 1, call upon his name. Number 2, make known his deeds. What he's done, what he's did for all of us, number 1, but what he's done in my life, because who knows who can help. It says, sing to him, sing praises to him. That's number 3. Speak of all his wonders. Number 4. That's kind of what we want to do with this swamp revival is not only share his word, but we want to talk about his creation and the awesomeness of it. It's just so stinking awesome that we're a part of it, of all the things he's created. Verse 3 says, "Glory in his holy name. Let the heart of those who seek the Lord be glad." Verse 4 says, "Seek the Lord in his strength." That's number 5. So call upon his name, make known his deeds, sing to him, sing praises to him, speak of all his wonders, and seek the Lord in his strength. I know I don't do that enough. Seek his face continually, and I know I don't do that enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was thinking about it. You get up in the morning, and I want to go to the coffee pot. That's what I want to do. But as soon as I get in the coffee pot, I sit down. The first thing I do, I open that phone up.
Yep.
And I go to seeking Facebook and seeing what somebody posted or wrote or go to Marketplace. And I want him to be first.
Mm-hmm.
And number 7 in that whole thing is remember his wonders which he has done, his marvels and the judgments uttered by his mouth. There's 7 things right there in them 5 verses that I'm going to apply in my life this year and really try to do that.
I heard something the other day that just kind of stood out to me, that prayer. A lot of people just take prayer for advantage, and prayer is literally how we communicate with God. If you're not praying, you're not communicating with him. And it's so easy. You don't have to start out like, "Dear Lord, thank you for this, blah, blah, blah." You can literally just talk to him. Praying is talking to him. And sometimes they're silent prayers when all you do is cry. And
we like to pray when we're in trouble or we need something.
Yeah.
What about just visiting?
Just talking, yeah.
Well, I think we're going to end it on that note right there. We appreciate you watching. I don't know all the fancy things to say.
Like, subscribe, follow, share.
And this will be on YouTube, so go to our Swamp Revival
YouTube
channel and check us out. There's some other videos on there I've posted in the past, but we're going to really try to get this podcast. We're in the podcast room here in Gulf Hammock. It's not done yet, but I actually going to get some more stuff things and put on the wall.
We're in search of a squirrel.
I've got one too.
Okay then. There we go.
I wanted a stuffed squirrel and I got one too. I don't know why.
I'm in the market for a bobcat or a coyote.
She needs a bobcat or a stuffed coyote. Where we gonna put him?
Oh, I don't know. Probably just right here, laying right here. We need a bobcat that's just laying down,
laid out right there on a little log,
eating some Wolf Brand chili.
Oh yeah, if you ain't never had Wolf Brand chili, go in. I got to promote Wolf Brand. Wolf Brand chili, no beans. It's out of Texas. I like Hormel canned chili. My wife doesn't, but this blows all that out of the water. I discovered it this past summer. And my wife will not eat stuff like this. And we eat it about every Sunday night. We cook hot dogs and put Wolf Brand chili on it. But I'll eat it out of a bowl. That stuff is good. I want them to sponsor me. I want a Wolf Brand chili sponsor. So if you know anybody that owns that company, show them this video. Because I'd like to have stacks of it in my pantry. Wolf Brand chili, get you some. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you can get something out of it. And enjoy your New Year's. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.